Good afternoon. Yes, as Roman was saying, it's 7 a.m. here in Mexico City, in Mexico State. So I will begin my presentation. This is in this paper. I will retrieve, reinterpret some themes about my doctoral thesis, and with which I obtained my PhD. This was a broader research about the digital experience of international students in Barcelona, about how they engage in some digital activities in their leisure sphere, not about their educational activities. But this paper will focus in some aspects related to the main theme of this conference, that is cosmopolitanism. So I will start. Just a second. I cannot press. Listo. Well, first of all, about the protagonists of this research, that are international students. They exemplify a kind of temporary and voluntary migration, which means that it is temporary because it has a fixed date of return, and it is also voluntary because it is made with freedom, in opposition to forced migration. Also, regarding international students, we can appreciate a kind of social stratification that emerged in this international mobility of students, because not all people possess the same economic and educational resources to be able to make an international mobility. Not everyone access to higher education, and not everyone possesses the resources to cover a period living abroad. And also, international students exemplify a particular type of a digital community that engages, that requires the digital management for their personal lives, to be in touch with the people at home, and also the people they met in the local, in the host place, and also the management for their studies. So this is about international students. And now about the context of the research. Barcelona, the city of Barcelona. Well, in the national level, Spain has appeared for several years as the major host country in the Erasmus Plus program. Regarding the local level, Catalonia is a region in Spain, an autonomous community, like a Bundesland in Germany. Catalonia has the second highest number of incoming students, just surpassed by Madrid, the community of the capital in Spain. And about the local level, well, Barcelona is a multicultural city with inhabitants from all over the world. It also is a city with a lot of connotations regarding to tourism, to culture, to the weather. It has appeared in recent years among the top 10 cities in the world with the best quality of life, different rankings that let us appreciate the relevance and the appealing of this city of Barcelona. Well, a little bit more theoretical about the cosmopolitanism and the digital. We see different proposals. For instance, Igarashi and Saito, when analyzing the educational system, they identify cosmopolitanism as a kind of cultural capital in this classification made by Bourdieu about the kinds of capital, in which cosmopolitanism is understood as this openness to foreign cultures and foreign people, etc. That is at the same time, on the one hand, promoted and desired by the educational system, but that in the other hand, it turns out to be unequal. Not everyone can access to cosmopolitanism in the same way. And related to this idea is the symbolic power of the international, in which becoming international, acquiring international experience or education becomes a kind of social distinction or positioning. And about the implications of the digital in international mobility and migration processes. There are many theories, proposals, concepts. One of these many concepts is this one of digital hybrid spaces, in which transnational, simultaneous, and translocal experiences emerge in the use of digital technologies by migrants, particularly international students. Well, now a little bit about the methodology I employed for my doctoral research. Well, the on-life ethnography is a concept I coined based directly in the proposal of the on-life experience made by Luciano Floridi, a philosopher of information. And this concept is very similar to this idea of the post-digital, in which the online and the offline spheres, they tend to merge. The difference between them blurs. So in consequence, this ethnography model is aimed at analyzing the blending between the digital and the analog. But as this research was focused on some aspects related to international mobility, it also approached this blending between the local and the distant. And also, I want to mention that it was characterized by a proximity between a researcher, myself, and participants, because I was myself an international student. I'm Mexican, so I was living in Barcelona, and there was this real sense of closeness between me and my participants. Just to mention something about them, they were 18 students from 12 different countries participating in my ethnography. And now about the findings. They approach two main kinds of digital technologies: social media and streaming platforms. So regarding social media, according to my participants, they really enjoy sharing and posting different elements that are different from what they usually find at home. For instance, posting or sharing photos of Catalan flags in the streets, or Mediterranean foods they eat at restaurants. So this practice becomes a kind of exhibition of this prestige that is commonly associated not only with the fact that they are living and studying abroad, but in addition that they are doing this in a world-known city with the connotations that I was mentioning before, like Barcelona. So in this exhibition of this prestige, international students can position and show themselves through social media. With these affordances of social media, they can show themselves as people with international experience, not only regarding education, but we can say a life international experience. And about streaming platforms, in this regarding this technology, cosmopolitanism appears when international students incorporate local contents, either national Spanish contents or local Catalan ones, when they incorporate these kind of contents in their media diets. So this establishes as a kind of expansion. This is a way in which they can expand their cultural tastes and preferences. An important element in this situation is the recommendation of local friends that recommend international students to listen to some Catalan music or to watch a Spanish series in Netflix like La Casa de Papel, Money Heist in English. So another important element in this is the possibility for international students to learn or to improve a language, either Spanish or Catalan, because Catalonia is a bilingual region, so they can learn or improve one of these or both languages. And well, this is a way, this consumption of local contents is an example of transnational and translocal entertainment experiences mediated by the digital. And I'm reaching my conclusions. Well, we can see in this, I could see in this research how cosmopolitanism understood as this openness to the foreign, that it is at the same time promoted by the educational system, but is unequal. Some authors even say that cosmopolitanism is a kind of class consciousness of the frequent travelers. We can see how cosmopolitanism and this idea of the symbolic power of the international, where when acquiring international education and experiences becomes a kind of social positioning, social distinction. We can see how this emerged in the everyday experience of these international students. For instance, when sharing with their social circles at home, when sharing with them through social media, these elements they find in their lives abroad, or when discovering local contents and learning Spanish or Catalan. So the digital mediation is an element that without it, the experience of appearance, development, and sharing of cosmopolitanism would be really different for international students, as these digital mediations really augments and enriches this sense of cosmopolitanism among international students. And I think that's all in my paper. Thank you very much.